Passage 5 is not a conflicting viewpoint, so I'm going to go straight to the questions. Based on the results of the study, which of the suspected mutagens resulted in the greatest number of HIS positive revertants in a dish? So I'm just going to look for, I have not read any of this. I do see it says number of colonies. There is 107 colonies in dish 4. And I need the letter for the substance. Well, dish 4 down here is substance N. So I'm going to go with C, substance N. 28. Which dish in the study was intended to serve the purpose of testing whether some of the S things cells became HIS plus revertants without the addition of a mutagen? So which one was intended to serve to test? That would be your control. So we need our control one. So in here we have dish 2 through 5, but we do not have dish 1. So if we come back to the study, it says a sterile Petri dish, dish 1. So that one's a sterile one. So dish 1 would be the control group. So F. Question 29. Based on the results of the study, what is the order of the suspected mutagens from the substance with the least potential to be mutagenic to the substance with the most potential to be mutagenic? So I'm looking at the number of colonies here. So the least would be 2, so that'd be dish 1, and then we'd have dish 5, and then we'd have dish 2, and then we'd have dish 3, and then we'd have dish 4. So then we need the letters. So coming down here, so dish 1 is not on there. Dish 5 is P. Dish 2 is L. Dish 3 is M. And dish 4 is N. So P, L, M, N. So it's not C or D. We want P, L, M, N. So the answer for 29 is B. Question 30. In the study, the scientists tested the effect of the substance P at a concentration of that value. After the study, the scientists repeated their test on the effects of substance P, but at 3 other concentrations. The 3 concentrations and their corresponding results are shown in the table below. So again, we have number of colonies. The substance has increase of 10 to 50 to 100. What is the relationship, if any, between the concentration of substance P and its potential to cause mutations? So we have, as the concentration of substance P increases, its potential to cause mutation increases only. Okay, so this increased and this also increased. So that one's a true statement. As the concentration of substance P increases, its potential to cause mutations decrease only. Well, that's not true. H, as the concentration of substance P increases, its potential to cause mutations first decreases, then increases. That's also not true. Then it says, and its potential to cause, there is no relationship. Well, we said that it would increase, so that one's not true. So the answer for 30 would be F. Question 31. Before bacteria were added to it, the dish that was intended to serve as a control dish in the study lacked which of the following substances listed below? So it lacked. So coming back over to the sterile dish, it says it contains a nutrient agar, so it did not lack a nutrient agar. So anything with 2 is gone. So A is gone and C is gone. Then if I continue to read, it says lacking histidine. So it was lacking histidine, so we want I, or 1. So we do want the 1. So the only one that has the 1 in it that still remains is D, so 1 and 3 only. So I'm not even looking for the 3. I just know that it has to have these. It's lacking the histidine, and it does not have the nutrient agar. Question 32. Which of the following statements about the numbers of bacteria that regained the ability to synthesize histidine is consistent with results of the study for dishes 2 and 3? The number of bacteria that becomes HS positive revertants are after exposure 2. Okay. So dishes 2 and 3. So dish 2 has 14 colonies, and it's also substance L. So I'm going to put that in here. And dish 3 has 25 colonies, and it's also dish M. because down here it does, or substance M, because it does tell me the substances. So it says the number of bacteria that became HIS plus after exposure to substance M was about 2 times the number of bacteria than L. So if we look at M to L, this is what it looks like. It's comparing M to L. So M is about 2 times, I could say potentially. L is 2 times the number. Well, that's not true because L is only 14, so G is incorrect. H says substance M is about 4 times. Well, that is absolutely not correct. And J says about 4 times the number, so again, also incorrect. The only one that is possible is F. Question 33. The particular strain of ST chosen for the study lacks normal DNA repair mechanisms. Which of the following statements gives the most likely reason this particular strain was chosen? So the scientists did not want the bacteria in the study to synthesize any DNA, did not want the bacteria in the study to synthesize any proteins, so these two go together. Wanted the bacteria in the study to be able to repair mutations, wanted the bacteria in the study to be unable to repair mutations, so those two go together. So we want to look for something about synthesize and potentially mutations. So coming over to the study, we see genetic mutation prevents them from synthesizing the amino acid. All right, so here's some synthesize. These strains of bacteria must absorb histidine from their environment in order to sustain their growth, exposing these strains of bacteria to mutagens, substances that induce DNA mutation. So it looks like we want the DNA to mutate because it looks like it is exposing them to that bacteria. So we want them, so any bacteria that regains the ability to synthesize becomes HIS plus. So we actually want them to be HIS plus, so we want them to synthesize. So if we look at A and B, did not want the bacteria to synthesize, that one's incorrect. Did not want them to synthesize, that is incorrect. So then DNA, we want it to mutate. So we want the bacteria in the study to be able to repair the mutations, or we want them to not repair the mutations. We want them to actually mutate, so we don't want them to repair anything. So we want them to actually continue to mutate. So D would be the correct answer for that one.